Yo, what's up, fam? What's going on, guys? So, another day, another dollar. How's everybody doing? The sentiment feels a little bit better today than it was yesterday. Feels a little better, a little better. We're improving. We're improving. Not too bad. Bitcoin seems to be finding support right here at 92,200. Seems to be finding some support right at the top of the CME gap here, right? Now, what day is it today? It's Tuesday, so yeah. So we have a CME gap right up here at 100 or at 96K. We have some pretty significant resistance here as well, as you can see. We rejected there for 4 days and then came down. So coming back up here, filling the CME gap is going to be step one. But again, we have resistance right here as well between 93.5 and 94,000. So we got some resistance levels, but that's to be expected, right? So nothing big there. Nothing big there. What do we got? We got 2 super chats. Ghetto Born in the house. It's the like, bitches. What's up? Much love. There you go. The one and only Gamma Goddess in the house. How you doing, dear? Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, that is the super chats. Let's get into the chats. The chats. H. Barberine in the house. What's happening, man? Good to see you, my guy. Good to see you. James, let's get this money, baby. Absolutely. Always one away. Sharing over on X. Thank you. Thank you for supporting on X. Let's go. Alham, what's up, man? Isaac, my guy. What's up, buddy? Get some good news, Rob. Pump them bags. Yes. No bear cycle. It's only an accumulation chance. Yes, I agree. Bye. There you go. Another day, another noodle. Another ramen noodle pack. Let's go. More like a whale cycle. Only the smart investors buy at these prices. Whale cycle loading up. Yes, exactly. Kizza, my dude. What's up, man? What you reckon? A short relief rally and go back down? Time will tell. I think that the real test is going to be up here at $110,000. That's going to be the real test. Once we get through this CME gap here between 104 and 110, this is going to be the test. If we can break above and start closing above 110,500 again, we will invalidate the head and shoulders pattern, right? We'll invalidate it. So this is going to be your level that you're really your nail biter kind of moment, right? When we get back up to 110.5, that's where you want to be paying attention. So yeah. Now it might not get up there till, I don't know, could be January by the time we get back up there, right? Alham says, buy now or regret it in a few weeks. Kizza, this crypto stuff got me confizzled. Big John's in the house. Ghetto Born says, exactly. Waiting on dry powder tomorrow. Going to keep DCAing. There you go. Well, I mean, listen, we're probably going to be chopping for a couple of weeks, so you got time. You got time for sure. Official brother, what's up, man? Market doing good today. Think we bottomed out already. Let's go. Well, I mean, the theory stands true because we did fill the CME gap here, and we are now using the top of it as support. So it's a good sign. It's a good first step, right? Hey, Rob, do you see Telcoin going to $1? Does that have high ROI potential than ZBEC? I do not think that Telcoin has higher potential in terms of ROI than ZBEC, no. But Telcoin in itself is a phenomenal project that will bring phenomenal ROI. Let me just look it up right now. Do I think it will get to $1? No, not this cycle. Maybe next cycle, possible. Not this cycle, though. It's just a bridge too far for one cycle. Braveheart says, Gamma got it right. Let's get this money. Amen. Leo, what's up, buddy? I appreciate you too, my guy. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for, you know what, you guys, you say thank you to me for showing up even when times are hard and supporting you guys. But thank you guys for showing up and supporting me at the same time, right? Absolutely. Let's go, says Ghetto Born. Absolutely. J Money, we got Bulbasaur in the house. Second Pokemon of the day. Let's get it. Everybody hit the likes. Strap up your seatbelts. It's about to get juicy. Guys, make sure you hit the like and subscribe on the way in. It's free to do, and it helps the channel. What do we have? We got 206 people watching. We have 51 likes. Not bad, but we can get to 100, guys. We can get to 100. Let's get this money. Hell yeah. Crypto business. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, SNX, KNC, Uni, ADA, XLM, ZEN, Bitcoin Cash, Link, AVAX, Lido, etc. ETC. Just buying all good projects. That's a lot of projects, a lot of good projects in there. Parallel Life in the house. BBP says, I'm still buying ZBEC. Not a bad plan, man. Not a bad plan. Adam, what's up? My wallet is like an onion. Opening it makes me cry. Don't open it then. What's good, fam? Easy's in the house. Jack Sparrow chilling and killing like a villain. Janine Roberto, have you looked into ATH Ethereum? Yes, we have. We actually talked about that last year over on the Patreon. Great project. Great project. What do you think the market cap could reach once we run? ATH. I don't even know what the market cap is right now, to be honest with you. But let me see. Only a $331 million market cap. You could see, I mean, you could see 3, 4, 5 billion wouldn't surprise me at some point. Wouldn't surprise me. 3, 4, 5 billion I could see happening. As long as they continue to develop, right? It's got decent tokenomics. It's got the listings that it needs for liquidity. Yeah, it should do fantastic. Super fantastic. Super fantastic. Bouncing back better. Let's go. Absolutely. Gamagata says, let's get this money. Amen. Quentin's in the house. What's up, buddy? It's a me, Mario. Let's smelt this puppy up. Yes. I see a lot of GG's influence, but waiting for the real deal Holyfield. GG to take this chat by storm. Let's get this CF fam. Absolutely. Nick, what's up, buddy? Crazy seeing how many people are freaking out. Shows you who blows their money they don't have to blow. Yes, exactly. Exactly, right? No matter how many times an influencer like myself says, only invest what you can afford to lose, people roll their eyes when we say it, and they're like, yeah. And then they invest more than they can afford to lose, and then they get angry at you. It's messed. It's messed up. Braveheart says, there she is. Yes. Danny's in the house. Just came in, thought I was going to have to do 50 push-ups. Well, you do have to do 50 push-ups because we're 22 minutes in, brother. Rise above. What's good? What's good? I wrote in my diary, DCA or sit on your damn hands. There you go. Gary says, hey, what's up, you big weirdo? Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Jared, 50 push-ups. I'm tired, boss. In it to win it. There you go. Crypto J505, third Pokemon of the day. Got to catch them all, baby. What's going on, everyone? Just loaded up on some Clearpool. Nice. Good choice, man. Sunshine Day says, what's going down? Cat's in the house. Good to see you, Cat. Good to see you. Lambros, greetings from Greece. Nice. Keep buying XCN and filling the bag. There you go. Real Bull. There you go, Dustin. Absolutely. Jay Dorn supporting us over on Rumble. Guys, make sure you are following us on Rumble as well. Help us grow the channel. Learning so much on the trading tier. Worth every penny and more just in education alone. Yes, I will be dropping another video with 4 more trades today. That would be a total of 14 trades in the last 3 days that I've dropped over there. Once today's video drops. Guys, it's 50% off right now. You are missing the boat if you're not over there. Matt Adam over on X says, I don't have any nails left to bite, but I can work with these toes. I am Jasmine. We're all Jasmine. You ain't going nowhere. Got you for 3 minutes of playtime. Let's have a good weekend, weirdos. Absolutely. Good week, weirdos. Paul says, thanks, Rob. Appreciate everything you do. Thank you so much, brother. Haven't thanked you in a while. Thanks, boss man. Hey, no problem. Your presence here is thanks enough. VJ, what's happening, buddy? Thanks again for all your support. Absolutely. Restful Mind, 4th Pokemon of the day. What's happening, man? Let's go. Feel real old. Time charting new territories. Yes, Ty. What's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Cobra over on X says, thanks for all you do. Jasmine price prediction for the top of this cycle. Probably 20, 25 cents I could see. William. Rob, the only teacher, the wise one with the DCA. Appreciate everything you do. Thank you so much. Strawberry Dragon in the house. BJ says, any idea as what's expected on big announcement from Zebek this week? Your thoughts? Actually, Max and I talked about that. Max, more accurately, brought it up on the Patreon live stream, I believe, last Thursday. He talked about what we think is the announcement of the ISO 200.22 certification is probably what they're going to announce. That's what we're speculating on. William, good to see you, buddy. Richie Rich, thanks for being one of the few making sense of the craziness and keeping us intact. Hey, we're a family, brother. We are a family. William, you're late. You're usually first. Yes, exactly. Kiss is on the ball. Any thoughts on Block V, Patreon member here? Here's the thing. I think Block V as a project has potential. Problem is, as I've stated 100 times before, they have 0 centralized exchange listings, right? They only ever had 1 centralized exchange listing years ago. I think it was Bitwise, and they got delisted. And they've been around for over 8 years. So for me, there's a couple red flags there. Their last all-time high was over 8 years ago. So they've underperformed the last 2 bull runs. And they don't have any centralized exchange listings either. Those are red flags for me. But I'm not fudding the project. It seems like a decent project. From what I understand, they're working with Visa. I just don't know why they don't have any listings, why they were delisted from the only centralized exchange that they had, and why their last all-time high was over 8 years ago, right? Those are my thoughts on Block V. Anyone think Jasmine will get past $1 this cycle? Nope. Good afternoon, Rob. A lot of people are giving up. Yes, as we stated, that is a bottom signal for sure. Local bottom. Making chicken parm, watching it sleet. Nice. Hey, man, that's one of my favorite meals, O House. You're going to have to make some for me too, broski. Baroski. Ghetto Boren says fiat currency will go away soon. There's no point in leaving my cheddar in the bank. Yes, you lose more and more purchasing power every single year. Tony, Mr. Soprano, what do you think Zebek will who do you think Zebek's new institutional partner announcement will be? They announced this week. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be necessarily a partner. I think that they're probably going to announce their ISO 20022 compliance or certification. I mean, could Ripple be considered a institutional partner? Something like that could be possible. Kim Sim, thank you for your Jasmine prediction. No problem, man. No problem. Carlos, Rob, do you think Litecoin is a good project? Yes, I do. Not because I like Litecoin. I do not hold Litecoin. I don't really care about Litecoin one way or the other. I don't have bad feelings about it. I don't have good feelings about it. Well, I do have good feelings about it. And the reason that I do now is because they do have a spot ETF. And I think that that is big for the future of the project in the long term. So, yes, I think it will be fantastic for Litecoin holders in the future. Yes. My dude, Andy, my Scottish brother, they expect a Fed to start QE in Q1 of 2026. That would be amazing. We need the U.S. to follow suit. We know that they're going to stop QT in the beginning of December. We need them to announce maybe in January that they're starting quantitative easing, right? Start printing money. Let's get going here. Let's rev your engines. You have to remember a couple of things we talked about yesterday on the Patreon live stream last night. And it's that you guys have to remember a couple of things. One, midterms are what? November. The voting is in November for midterms, which means that for the latter part of 2026, Trump and the Republicans must have pumping markets. If markets look all year next year the way they look now or worse, Republicans can forget it. 100%. They can forget winning any it's over, Grover, right? So we have that coming up. Also, Powell, his term at the Fed ends in May. And you know that Trump will appoint someone who will start to push the needle in terms of quantitative easing if it hasn't already started by that point. So there are some positive things that are coming out in the first 2 quarters of next year, right? What does it do for crypto? You're going to have to look up ISO 20022 compliance. It is a very, very important standard. Projects like XRP, XLM, Algorand, HBAR, IOTA, Quant, and many, many others have this certification. And I believe that it will be just one of the many reasons why these projects will last long term, right? But definitely look up what the implications are, because I'm not going to go through it all here, of being ISO 20022 compliant. It's not hard to find information on it, right? I'd freak out on Zebek if Zebek announced a partnership with WorldPay. That would be epic, for sure. That would be epic. What do we got? 266 people watching. We have 68 likes, guys. Come on. We can get to 100 likes. We can get to 100 likes. I was expecting more than that. All right, let's get into the news. Let's see what's going on out there. Tom Lee says, considering selling my office bed to buy more Ethereum. Do it. Do it. Bitcoin market predictions, the next bear cycle. Key analysts, including Plan B, predict Bitcoin to potentially fall to 56 to 55K in 2026 based on on-chain data and market cycle analysis. This prediction indicates uncertainty in crypto markets, highlighting Bitcoin's potential downturn despite current support around $100,000, affecting investor strategies and market confidence. Key crypto analysts forecast that the next bear market cycle might see Bitcoin fall to the range of between $56,000 and $55,000. This projection is based on the analysis of on-chain data and historical market cycles. Here's my thoughts on that, guys. If 126,000 was the top for Bitcoin, if it was, hypothetically, that would make the bottom of Bitcoin about $35,000 to $40,000, far less than 55 to 56. I know what they're doing. Before I even read any further, I will. But they're probably talking about the 200-week moving average and how usually Bitcoin flashes buy signals in a bear market once it hits that 200-week moving average on the weekly time frame, which will be somewhere around $55,000 by the time Bitcoin gets down there, if it's falling down that far, right? So that's what they're referring to in that. Key crypto and the projection comes from Plan B's creator of the stock to flow model, who noted recent market trends. Plan B highlighted, we have seen the top 126,000 was the peak, and next year 2026 will be a bear year, and a bear year Bitcoin will crash to approximately the moving based on-chain data by this week is 56K. So he's talking about the 200-week simple moving average. This may impact, which I'll show you guys on the chart and what I'm talking about in a few minutes. This will impact Bitcoin with current levels under scrutiny as it fluctuates around proposed support zones. Now, just for a little bit of context, I like Plan B. I have no issue with Plan B. But Plan B was also calling for a $500,000 Bitcoin 4 weeks ago, and now he's calling for a $55,000 to $56,000 Bitcoin. Kind of just for a little perspective, right? Presently, the Bitcoin market is experiencing fluctuations, having recently dropped below 92K from profit taking. This downturn indicates pressure primarily attributed to long-term holder liquidation, stirring market interests. Experts predict these financial movements may alter the crypto landscape, affecting investor decisions. As Bitcoin serves as a benchmark, such shifts could influence broader cryptocurrency investment strategies worldwide, including on other major cryptocurrencies like Ethereum. So, I don't know. Are we gonna? I mean, if we do go down, yeah, we're probably going down to the 200-week, which I will show you. I'll show you right now. Let's go have a look at the 200-week moving average. So you have it optically. You have it optically, okay? So here we are. We could come, if we come down further, what I think could happen if we're going down, we're going to hit 78,000, 79,000 on the low end. We could come a little bit, we could stay a little bit higher than that. Bounce off support, and then we're likely going to put in the second shoulder, right? We're probably going to top somewhere between $104,000 and $110,000, which would fill the CME gap up there as well, right? And when we come back up to this level, that if we're going to come down, when we come up to this level, that's when you're probably, not financial advice, but that's when you're probably going to want to take some cheddar off the table, right? Because then we are likely going to come down, probably going to bounce back up, and then we come down. But we're not going to come down this far. That's a little dramatic. We're probably going to come down to this line right here, right? That is the 200-week moving average on the weekly time frame. Usually, Bitcoin drops just a little bit below that blue line. That is usually the flashing of the buy signal for the pretty close to the bottom of the bear market, right? As you can see back here, we hit it, we dropped down below it, down in this area after we popped up. See how we dropped below it, right? Those are buy signals, right? And then look what happened afterwards. Same thing back here, right? Boom. We hit it back here, buy signal, boom. We went up, right? So that's what he's saying, is that we're going to come down to the 200-week moving average. We'll probably dip a little bit below it, not like massively, but a little bit. And that would be, if that happens, that would be, if you're new to crypto, that would be where you want to be scooping back up. And the reason he said 55K is because that's where the 200 week is right now, $55,600, right? However, I would say that it'll probably continue to work its way up a little bit. It might be closer to $58,000 to $60,000 by the time Bitcoin gets down there to it, right? So, but that's what Plan B is talking about. Just a little explanation for you. Big Mike's got my back as always. What's up, brother? With all the partnerships, it feels like market manipulation with ZBEC. I feel we still should hit 5 to 10 cents. Yes, I agree with you 100%. And guys, even if the market was going into a bear market, there are altcoins like ZBEC that do go parabolic even in bear phases. So keep that in mind, right? So yeah. I was the second like. There you go. That's what I like to hear. I'm still voting full Republican next year, but I have suspected they were tanking the cycle this year to keep a huge crash off the radar for 2026. Could be. Jay, thank you so much, man. You're a true leader in this space. God bless you. God bless you too, my friend. Thank you for showing up and showing out, man. Absolutely. Lambros, XCN pumping right now. Pretty much everything's pumping right now. Pretty much everything, right? If we look at across, I told you, I made a video. I did a live stream this morning. I talked about it in a video over on the Patreon, the morning market overview, that the market was probably going to shift into a more aggressive green status this afternoon, and here we are, right? So, Splake says, first time paper trading and won 7 of 8. Nice. There you go, man. There you go. That's what I like to hear, man. Win. Gamecast. My bad, Rob. I was at a funeral. Hey, what'd I miss? Still got to do 50 push-ups. Got to get the gains in. Seems like there's some easy short trades with Zcash. Yeah, absolutely. 85 crash. What's happening, man? Buy at least one Bitcoin at 60K. Yes, exactly. That's what I like to hear, man. Carlos says, Rob, do you think it's a good idea to sell your Bitcoin holding and wait? I never sell my Bitcoin. Never sell my Bitcoin. I ride my Bitcoin from the bottom to the top and then from the top back down to the bottom. I just continue to accumulate Bitcoin. I never sell my Bitcoin. And then Rob will say, I told you so for the millionth time. There you go. Toshi is up 14%. Yeah, pretty much everything's up. Everything's looking good. All right, let's go over to Squawk Box. We got a clip yesterday, but it was talking Coinbase talking about crypto and the status of the market.
Now with more on the crypto market, John D'Agostino, Coinbase head of institutional strategy. We've seen this movie before. What was the biggest sell-off? We had a move from, I think, 65 down to 15,000, didn't we, at one point with Bitcoin?
Sure. I mean, so historically, Bitcoin has traded in these 4-year cycles. And so we saw 2014, 2018, 2022, material moves down.
20,000 down to 3,000 at one point, I think.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it can lose 70 or 80% of its value and then only to see new highs again.
So generally, after those down years, we've seen 2 to 3 years of up 150, 160% returns.
So what do you, what would not, is it less volatile now? Or are the sell-offs going to be not quite what they were? Or is it possible, let's see, 125, could it go down to 60,000?
So mathematically, it is becoming less volatile. Just as a strict standard deviation calculation, it is becoming less volatile. You would expect that as you have a wider and deeper market. You have more different types of investors. Obviously, the ETFs have brought in a flood of retail. You have more institutions. Harvard Endowment announced they hold more Bitcoin than gold the other day. So mathematically, that's what you would expect. It doesn't feel that way, to be very honest, right? The sentiment is brutal right now, and you have to be very, very honest about that. Just like I'm sure, you're holding gold, you feel smart. You didn't feel so smart in 2008 when gold lost a third of its value.
For years and years and years, you just felt average.
Feel smart.
Yeah.
Right? So as we've said many times on this show, trying to market time any volatile asset can get you in a lot of trouble. If you've systematically invested in Bitcoin over a 5-year period, you're up an extraordinary amount. Even year to date, while not great, both Bitcoin and Ethereum, while slightly negative, are, Ethereum's a little bit up. If you stake your assets, you can earn a higher yield. So you're still net positive. Solana's down materially for the year, 25%, year on year, 41%. However, we had the single best ETF launch of the year for a Solana ETF. So in these situations, I try to step back and ask myself, what has fundamentally changed since, let's say, late September, when everyone was incredibly bullish? And the answer for me is nothing. Structurally, we're where we were, if not better. We have the Czech National Bank announcing a central bank Bitcoin purchase, the first Eurozone country to do that. You've got Citibank and JP Morgan announcing stablecoins that they're using to facilitate customer transactions. You've got Harvard Endowment's announcement. You have successful ETF launches. So it's a challenging environment currently, but in my house, we like apples. I don't like apples less when they're on sale. So if you like this asset, you should like it at a discount.
Yes.
What if you didn't like it in September and you like it now? Should you like it now at a discount? Because price does matter. I know you're sort of suggesting, you're suggesting prices don't matter at all.
If you like it because you thought it was overbought, of course. If you didn't like it because you thought it was overbought, yes. If you didn't like it because you don't agree structurally, probably not.
No, I'm just saying, right, like sometimes, you know, avocados go up and down in price. You may love avocados, but you may say, you know, this is a little rich for my,
Sure.
The price tag's a little high right now. I'm not going to buy the avocados, but you know what? Sure. The next time I walk into the market and the avocados that are a better price at, I'll take some.
So you're a technical avocado trader in this example, and that makes perfect sense. I would expect technical traders would be buying into the mean reversion trade at this point. So that's kind of why I'm a little bit confident again, because structurally, I don't see a regulatory environment in the US or globally that is any worse than it was pre-October 10th.
What did you make of, and I've been asking the question a lot just because I remember being sort of surprised when she first said it. Kathy Wood made a very interesting point. What it really did.
Really not.
Well, I know you don't agree.
To go from 1 point.
Hold on, just
for one thing, to have a price target of 1.5. To have a price target of 1.5 million is ridiculous to start. To go to 1.2 million.
It doesn't even matter. That's not the point. Let me explain.
You know what either.
I heard you after.
The point is slightly different. The point is that she made an argument that she was surprised about the success of stablecoins and how she believed that stablecoins to some degree could crowd out some of the Bitcoin trade because people are going to use stablecoins more for transactions and the like than she originally thought. She thought Bitcoin might be used more for transactions than they will be. And that was a surprise to her. Forgetting about
it's only going up 15 times from where it is now instead of 20
about her price target. You're focused on the price target
from where it is now.
Okay.
I'll just be quiet. Both predictions are ludicrous, right?
So I wouldn't say ludicrous. I think Kathy's an incredibly brilliant person, and I trust her judgment. I heard another one of your guests, I think it was Michael Saylor, say that they didn't see the direct correlation between
20 million, isn't he, or something? What's his target?
At some point in the future, right? I'm not sure I see the users of stablecoin substituting that long-term asset for Bitcoin. And I'm not sure I see the people who want to buy Bitcoin as a unit of currency viewing a stablecoin as a surrogate for that. So I'm less confident.
Andrew, for you,
unbelievable. If anybody ever asks you what you do for a living, tell them you're a technical avocado trader. Oh, man. Johnny, yes, on the top tier, the one-on-one tier, you get access to everything. On the lower tiers, you get everything from that tier and below. Everything on the Patreon you get on the top tier. This new segment sounds like AI. Okay. Isaac, what's your opinion on me starting a new bag of pith and wormhole? At these prices, not a bad idea, brother. Jared, I guess I better tell my girl she needs to work on her avocado TA. Oh, Taku in the house. What's up, my guy? Good to see you, brother. Mary Bearmiss. Danny, not fun buying 75-cent small avocados that turn black when they ripen. The $1 to $1.50 ones at Kroger Danny is a professional avocado trader. Absolutely. All right. What else do we have? How much further could Bitcoin fall? Katie Stockton reveals. Technical analyst Katie Stockton has predicted how much further the Bitcoin price could fall following its recent drop. As selling pressure deepens in the cryptocurrency market, Bitcoin briefly dipped below $90,000 before rebalancing. However, according to Katie Stockton, founder and managing partner of Fairland Strategies, the market hasn't bottomed yet. The pullback is significant, she said. This process could be prolonged. There are oversold conditions, but they haven't yet generated a strong buy signal. Bitcoin was last trading at around 93,005, which is close to what it is now, down about 14% from the past month. This sharp decline is parallel to investors shifting away from riskier assets and AI-themed stocks and towards more defensive instruments amid growing economic uncertainty. U.S. stock markets are also under pressure. The S&P 500 index, heavily weighted towards artificial intelligence companies, fell about 0.5% on Tuesday, on pace for its longest losing streak since August. According to Stockton, the risk-off trend could drag Bitcoin down further, especially in the medium term. Sharing his technical indicators, Stockton highlighted that 78,000 to 80,000 range as a critical area where Bitcoin's cyclical bull trend could break out. He stated that this level represents a significant lower bond for the medium term. So here's the thing, guys. If he's right on that, and Bitcoin comes down to that 78 to 87 or something like that, if that's what happens, well, that's the scenario I just laid out for you guys, where we come down. This white line is at $78,000. If we hit that, bounce back up and put in, and we hit resistance at about $110,000, that's a head and shoulders pattern, guys. So, right? If that's what happens, if we fail to break through 110K after filling that CME gap, it might be the top, guys, right? But that's weeks down the road. This is the weekly time frame. That's like 8 to 12 weeks down the road, right? So for now, buying opportunities, not financial advice. Another local. As a warrior, do you try to see the TS sumo, the sumo tournament in Tokyo? You'll appreciate the culture and show. Yes, we do plan on going to some sumo wrestling. Yes. I went to the market and I saw many people with bear cartoon t-shirts. So guess we're from bear market. Yep, must be. It's science. It's science, right? Okay, what else do we have? We're starting to run low on time here. Federal Reserve, 50% likelihood of a December rate cut. The rate cut went from 20% back up to 50% odds of a rate cut in December. The probability of a Federal Reserve rate cut at the December meeting has surged by 50% following a recent weak jobs report in the United States, according to CME Group data. This shift could impact cryptocurrency markets, with Bitcoin and Ethereum historically reacting to such monetary policy changes by displaying heightened volatility and trading volume. As of November 18th, the U.S. Federal Reserve probability of a 25 basis point rate cut for December stands at 50% due to the weak jobs reports impacting financial strategies. The decision-making body for this anticipated cut includes the Federal Open Market Committee, the FOMC chair, Jerome Powell, with potential policy shifts affecting various economic sectors. Immediate effects include shifts in global liquidity and funding costs, influencing both traditional and crypto markets. Bitcoin and Ethereum's value may fluctuate based on impending interest rate changes. These financial maneuvers may provoke adjustments in risk appetite affecting the dollar index and on-chain activity within the crypto sphere. Major digital assets exhibit sensitivity to Fed policy adjustments. With potential market volatility, investors should monitor developments closely. So better be paying attention, guys. Better be paying attention to what's going down. Let's get back over to Squawk Box again. The broadening out in markets is still to come. A little bit more downside.
Now, Marta Norton, Chief Investment Strategist at Empower. Good morning. Are we going to talk fundamentals, technicals, both? What are you using to gauge what investors should do here?
Well, I mean, what I find so interesting about the current environment is that the fundamentals haven't really changed, right? And we're in the midst of a very strong earnings season where we're seeing revenue growth deliver, not just earnings growth deliver. But of course, the sentiment has shifted so much. And the very CapEx that investors were rewarding just a month ago is now the CapEx that investors are calling into question. So in my mind, of course, you want to focus on the fundamentals, but it's not necessarily the fundamentals that is shifting market behavior. It's the sentiment that we're watching right now.
There are some great, we haven't talked about this, Sorkin, but there's some great quotes from this article on the front page of the journal, Blue Owl Capital, saying, you know, once you get to a couple of $1 trillion of what you're talking about, we're not really, you know, the numbers don't even matter, but we are talking trillions that we don't even know where the money is coming from. So is it surprising that maybe people are taking a step back and looking at some of the, to try to separate the hype from the actual reality of investing in AI?
I think it's unquestionably a good thing that we're having a second check of these numbers. I mean, really what we've seen since the Liberation Day recovery is a market that has only priced in the right side of the probability distribution. And now we're talking more a fuller range of outcomes here. And I think that makes the pricing a little bit more realistic. When we were looking at valuations, and this is true for tech and it's true for hyperscalers, so I'd also say it's true for the market overall, you're looking at these valuation rankings, they were in the 9th and 10th deciles of their own history. And that's when valuations really start to matter. So this is some vindication for folks who were saying, hey, you still should care about the price that you're paying for these things.
Well, we've talked about the S&P 493 a lot. And if the market, you know, the expression live by the sword, die by the sword, if the AI excitement is part of the reason that we bounced off those April lows like we did, I mean, what, 30% plus, even more maybe in the NASDAQ, should, even if the earnings season was great for most companies, should what's happening in AI take down the entire market now? It took the market up. We shouldn't be surprised if it takes the market down.
That's right. We've ridden it higher, and now you're looking at technology that accounts for, what, 36% of the S&P 500? So it feels like the U.S. equity market at this point in time is one big bet. And I think the caution I would offer investors is when you take a look at spending plans for 2026 and beyond, and the interplay between capacity and demand, 2026 looks like another capacity building year. We're not necessarily going to see broad-based deployment. They still have to build the capacity for that broad-based deployment. In other words, there's plenty more time for more questions to emerge around this spending.
Is it a bifurcated market? So would you look at, you know, normal companies that have nothing to do with it? Maybe the benefit from AI down the road, but what was the EPS gain for the most recent reporting season?
I mean, yeah,
double digits.
Double digits, right. And you know what's interesting about this is there's been such a desire to see a broadening out, not just from price performance, but from earnings performance. But when we look into 2026, perhaps you could see some areas that are beginning to show strong earnings growth, but it still remains a tech story. And so I think the broadening out is still to come. I don't think we're really on the precipice of that. But one thing I think we can take encouragement from the .com era is that when you look at the long-term effects of what that tech cycle did for the economy, it really did accrue gains to the broader economy. And I think that's what ultimately,
how many years?
Eventually, I mean, years, right?
Yeah.
But ultimately, that's what we're looking for.
Is it similar, you think? Do we need a washout like we did, or not in 99? Because it is different in certain ways.
It's different.
There are some fundamentals in earnings and actual results to a lot of these companies. They're not pets.com.
Right. There's a health degree that we see today that we didn't have back then. I guess I'm not at the point where I'm calling this a bubble. I'm looking at this as extreme valuations, but I still think that, to your point, these companies remain healthy. And when you look at their debt issuance, it certainly has crept up, but that's been a relatively recent phenomenon. That's really been in the past few months.
Here, Mona, would you tell clients?
Listen, I think that the valuations are high enough that we need to have them come down a bit more before we move in at a broad level, though there's probably idiosyncratic opportunities opening up.
Yeah, a little bit more pressure. We got another piece to get into here. Rodney says, we always crash. Feels like that. Feels like that. Revolutionary crypto market structure bill sets 2025 Senate vote timeline. The cryptocurrency industry stands at a pivotal moment as the U.S. Senate prepares to vote on a groundbreaking legislation that could transform how digital assets are regulated. The Crypto Market Structure Bill, officially known as the Clarity Act, has taken a significant step forward, with Senate Banking Committee Chairman Tim Scott announcing a clear timeline for its progression through Congress. This is what a lot of people are waiting for. The Clarity Act represents the most comprehensive attempt yet to create clear rules for the cryptocurrency industry. This legislation aims to resolve the long-standing jurisdictional confusion between regulatory agencies by clearly defining the roles of the SEC and CFTC. The bill's primary objective is to establish a functional framework that protects investors while fostering innovation in the digital asset space. One of the most significant provisions involves creating exemptions for traditional securities registration requirements for certain cryptocurrencies. However, these exemptions come with significant criteria that digital assets must meet to qualify. This approach acknowledges that not all cryptocurrencies function like traditional securities and require tailored regulatory treatment. Chairman Scott's announcement provides much needed certainty about when we can expect regulatory clarity. The planned December markup session allows for committee-level revisions and improvements to the legislation. Following this, the early 2025 Senate floor vote timeline gives market participants clear expectations about when final decisions might occur. The predictable schedule matters because it allows companies to plan their compliance strategies. It provides investors with regulatory certainty. It gives the industry time to prepare for implementation, and it creates a clear path for legislative resolution. The legislation fundamentally reshapes how regulators approach digital assets by drawing clear lines between the SEC and CFTC's responsibilities. The bill eliminates the regulatory ambiguity that has plagued the industry for years. The SEC would maintain authority over cryptocurrencies that qualify as securities, while the CFTC would oversee those classified as commodities. And what I would say, guys, is that make sure you know the definition moving forward, which classification, whatever crypto you're investing in, make sure you understand whether it is a security or a commodity. It's very important. The exemption provision represents a major shift from the current practice. Cryptocurrencies meeting specific decentralization and utility criteria could avoid the costly and complex registration process under the Securities Act of 1933. This recognizes that some digital assets serve primarily as utility tokens or decentralized network assets rather than investment contracts. Despite the promising timeline, several hurdles remain before the crypto market structure bill becomes law. The legislation must navigate political differences, potential amendments, and the possibility of opposition from various stakeholders. Industry participants should monitor several key areas during the coming months. Political opposition from lawmakers skeptical of cryptocurrency, Elizabeth Warren, Maxine Waters. Industry concerns about specific regulatory requirements, potential conflicts with existing state-level regulations, and technical complexities in implementation and enforcement. The advancement of the crypto market structure bill signals a maturing relationship between regulators and digital asset industry. This legislation represents a compromised approach that acknowledges both the need for investor protection and the unique characteristics of blockchain technology. The bill's progression suggests that lawmakers recognize cryptocurrency's permanent place in the financial landscape. Successful passage would position the United States as a leader in the cryptocurrency regulation rather than falling behind other jurisdictions. It would provide the clarity needed for institutional adoption while maintaining protections for retail investors. The coming months will be crucial for determining whether this balanced approach can achieve bipartisan support. Big things popping, little things stopping. Let's go back and look at Bitcoin here. What's she doing? What's she doing? She's still holding 93,000. Can she hold support at 92,000? That's the question, right? So, but for now, guys, I got to get over to the Patreon. I got some coaching calls to take care of. Get over there, book your coaching calls. If you want to know what the heck's going on, what I think's going on, and figure out what you should be doing if you're new to crypto, if you need help structuring or restructuring your portfolio, if you need exit strategies, figuring all that stuff out, come on over, guys. Book your one-on-one coaching calls or join one of our group coaching calls or one of our Patreon live streams and get all of your questions answered. Our training courses are free to you as a Patreon member, and I'm dropping 4 more trades today in our trading group over there. All of that and so much more, guys. Check it out today. The link is down below. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Also, it's 50% off right now for new members to the Patreon, so check it out. I'll see you in the next one. God bless.